So anyway, blokes, what we gonna do today, yeah? Today, we're gonna focus back, yeah? We're gonna focus back here on the Pandoras Box 5. And what we're gonna do is install, you guessed it mates, some official Sanwa parts. We got Sanwa Joystick and some Sanwa Buttons, and we're gonna get to that, blokes. So thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned. Blimey, we got a good video for you today, mates. Right. Here it is, you're tuned into Redfield. Video gaming and let's plays and music and whatnot, yeah? Thanks for tuning in. Right, mate, so we got some new Sanwa parts, like you said. Got some Sanwa parts, yeah? Gonna open up, we're gonna open this up. And first, actually, we're gonna unbox the Sanwa buttons. We haven't seen them yet. I'm gonna do this all with you guys. Now, this side here, the blue, these were the stock buttons that came with it. This is the outside. This is the stock stick that came with it. This is the stock stick. These buttons came from a different joystick, Street Fighter 2, not Street Fighter 2, just Street Fighter Anniversary Edition, 15th Anniversary Edition sticks. I believe I showed you them. It was a little something like that. Try to get a better view for you later. So let's get on with it, blokes. Let's unbox these Sanwa parts. There we go. Alright, this is the Sanwa joystick. Alright. Alright, I got them from different sellers, but the packaging is identical, so I don't know what to say about that, but alright, so let's go ahead and open these bad boys up. These is the buttons, yeah. You never cut towards yourselves, by the way. Just trying to make short work of this. Still gotta install it. I've never installed these before. Figured I'd do it on camera with you blokes. Oh, here we go. Alright. Alright. I'll let each individually wrapped. Now these are supposedly, yeah, these are the genuine Sanwa, as you can see. Now these supposedly are the ones you'll find in most arcade units in Japan. Now, these that I have in here, from the Street Fighter stick, they need a lot of resistance. And as you can see, they've got like a bigger rim. Pause. But, I gotta say, they don't feel that different. You know, it's hard to judge until they're installed. You could already feel the plastic and the build is better. These push right in. Yeah, these are much nicer as far as that. But yeah, we'll see. No click in them. That's what's funny. My original buttons on the left, remember, they didn't have click like these do. But it turns out, neither did the official Sanwas. Which, if I didn't know already, I might have thought there was something wrong with these. But alright, here we go. We're going to install these. That's 6 of them. They were $11. Alright, let's go ahead and open up the joystick mics. And just for comparison, these were the original buttons that came in the unit. I mean, they did a good job replicating them as far as the dimensions and stuff. Yeah, the Sanwas are slightly smaller. See, the point with these is minimal resistance. You know what I'm saying? You can hit them quick. They're good for fighting games. Yeah, I can feel how they bounce up quick. Not as springy as I had anticipated. Honestly, they don't... I'm not blown out the box. Super impressed by how they feel. But I know that they're going to feel great once they're in. And they're definitely going to be better than these. Now, let's open up this bag. This is the joystick. This cost $25. That was about the cheapest I could find it. They go up to about $35. I think they retail for around $35. So $25 wasn't bad. Alright. Here we go, as you can see. It's in this box here, joystick JLF. This better be the official. Oh, of course it's the official Sanwa blokes. Now again, this is typically Sanwa Denshi, or the Revenger. Oh, you're the Revenger. Now these are typically the joysticks you find in Japanese arcade units, from what I understand. As are the buttons. Now I also got white. So between the two items, it was about $36. Now a lot of times I see these sticks themselves go for about that much. So considering I got my 6 buttons and the stick, we're good to go. Now it should install no problem. See how it's got the 5-pin jam? And that's another reason you want the real Pandora's Box 5 from 3A Games, the new 2018 one. Because you know, the only other videos, I've never seen somebody install both buttons and a joystick like we're about to do. And I'm going to do my best to give you some tips, even though this is my first time doing it as well. So we're going to learn together, blokes. Yeah? Blimey, bloody hell. What did I want to say? So yeah, hopefully this is going to offer more precision, and as you can see, they really tried to replicate. These are basically generic versions of the official Sanwas, and we're going to see what all the hype's about and if it's worth it. Alright, so I'm about to open this bad boy up. Now, I'm going to give you a tip personally. Now you got these three screws on the bottom. I keep them tight enough that you can't open them, that you can't turn it by hand, because when you're playing, they have a tendency to loosen up and fall out. So I got them just tight enough that I'm going to use this wrench just to give it that little twist, just to get it started so I can do it with my finger. Otherwise, you're gonna find these on the floor. So we'll just remove these 3. Just take a twist. I'm gonna crack this baby back open. 1, 2, and 3. A 3. Right. So now I'll show you something interesting. Right. Now, as you can see, these are the stock buttons. Very short compared to these that I had put in from the other joystick. See how long these are? Those were for obviously thicker units. This has a thin metal top. It's just overkill. And it ends up jabbing down into the harness here, which is not good. And they're just not great buttons, so they're about to get removed. And we'll see what the difference is. How much, hopefully this joystick is a big improvement. This is the stock one still. I believe all we need to do... I believe all we need to do is get a flathead screwdriver. Hold that there. Hold the bolt. Remove that. Remove these 4 screws here. Nuts and bolts. Reminds me of a truck for a skateboard. Remove this little harness. That should go right into the new Sanwa stick. Hopefully. Should have the same pin set up. Should be a replica. And yeah. What the hell's going on? Is the video's looping? Right, folks. Now, one thing I wanted to point out, I have seen people change the buttons, right? I've yet to see anyone actually change out the stick, but there really should be nothing to it, hopefully. Now, I always see people, whenever they tell you how to remove these, they just say take them out, pull them out. Now, guess what? They don't always just pull out. Pause. Like this one here. And that's it too. When we put them back in, I like to give them just a very slight clamp. Boop. Just to keep them so they're not just... Sometimes they could be so loose they're just like falling out, you know. But I'm going to show you how to remove these that don't want to pull out easily. Because I was having this issue and I didn't see anybody else discussing it or remedying it or anything like that. So I'm going to show you a little trick that I did that seems to work. Now what happens is these clamps, they get on too tight, and also see how there's a little hole in the connections. I think there might be something in here that I feel like it clips on to something. Maybe I'm wrong. But some of these, you could pull on them with all your might. They don't want to come out. So if you have that issue, get yourself a sewing needle or a safety pin. See what I'm doing there? Stick it in there, just to loosen up the grip there. You see what I'm saying? Because it gets crimped down. I mean, it's just common sense, but see, this bad boy still don't want to pull out. So I'll give it some more here. Watch. I'm just pushing and giving a little pressure. I don't want to bend it too much. It'll fall. You know. This should work for you though. Put it in, push it. See that? You don't want to, you know, bend them too much because they'll get too loose. You want to avoid changing them a million times, pulling them in and out. You know, that's what's great about this unit too, is you could reconfigure the buttons here inside the unit, as opposed to, you know, you don't want to have to be messing with these harnesses all the time. But when we have our new Sanwa buttons in, those will hopefully just, you know, replace them and be it. Now, when you're removing these originals, these are terrible. these don't, you know, these nubs should push in, making it easier to release, but there's no give in these whatsoever. So you really got to push down on them with a flathead screwdriver. Or something you could get a grip on them with on either end. I find the best way is to walk them out. In other words, push this end in, one end in, till you get it to snap out the top here. Just a little bit, just a couple millimeters. Just get it started, and then get the other side started. Alright? You don't want to push one side through too much, or else it's just going to get wedged in. I find that's the best way to get these out. What's nice about these, though, is these are the other model. You could also get the Sanwas with this kind of design, but what we got are the best for this particular unit. Alright, but see, with these, you can see what I'm doing. They unscrew, and you easily pop them out. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this out. Alright, we're going to go ahead and remove all these. I'm just going to go ahead and loosen them all. See, now these look nice, but there's a lot of resistance in them. Nice click. They're good for dramatic effect and on camera, but we're gonna go ahead and go with these. We're gonna see what all the hubbub's about with these bad boys, the official Sanwas. I'm not sure if it matters. Does it matter which, you know what I'm saying? Are these interchangeable? I don't know. So do I put it in this way or this way? I don't know. I don't see a difference. I don't see it saying positive, negative, or anything. So I'm just gonna pop them in with the side that says Sanwa facing down here. So these are super easy to put in. All right, you just see we got a empty hole here. I'm gonna put them in one at a time. Got the official Sanwa. I'm just gonna put it right in like this. And you see it's got these nubs as well, but these actually push in, as opposed to the stock ones that have no give at all. So, boom. Ooh, that didn't sound good. Oh, sounds terrible on it. But yeah, boom. I mean, that's in. Wow. Alright. As you can see, much lower. It's like, man, I'll tell you, they don't feel very impressive or great when they're in. I mean, like, as you can see, there's no click mechanism in there. That's funny, because I was complaining that my originals on this side didn't have click. But I could see how responsive that is. It pops up immediately. You can do them double clicks, not that I, you know. Yeah, I could see how these are gonna. These might not feel like you expect. I don't know what you would expect. But yeah, these should be good for performance. Now it's a little ivory on the ivory side, which is kind of cool, but you know, it doesn't actually match the whiteness. I just got the white because they seem to be the cheapest. Like I said, it was about 15, 16 bucks for any other color. I ended up seeing them for 13 for the red, and I could have got a red stick, but you know, the ball, the top, you could change this. But I'm gonna go. We got all white Sanwa parts, so we're gonna go with that. And there you go. I'll push them in tighter when I'm all done. I'm going to pull all these out. Just get that done with, and then we'll move on to the joystick. Haven't even opened the box yet for it. Be back, blokes. Right. Go ahead and keep popping these bad boys in. You just want to try to bring them down, you know, uniformly, and they should pop in pretty easily and snugly. There we go, these are old ones. These are new Sanwas. As you can see, got 3 in, 3 out. He's about to have these installed. Yeah, they feel nice in there. Especially I mean, if these are imitations of these, yeah, these feel phenomenal compared to these, with these ridiculous click in these. There we go. I'm just going to go ahead and pop the rest of these in. One left there, plug it in. And each one comes with its own baggie, yeah? You can think of something you can do with these, yeah? Maybe you got a side hustle that you can use them for if you get these ripped. Put these in. And yeah, I gotta say the white buttons, I'd say they're more ivory than white. Alright. See, there's really nothing to them. I mean, there's no spring action. There's not a whole lot going on. But it's about function with these bad boys. When you're playing fighting games and shit now, you know, I should have no excuses throwing fireballs and Hadoukens and all that good shit. Of course, this, mate, is the real. This is the real deal here. Let's see what we got. This is my first time now with the Sanwa. It's my first time opening it. Here we go. So on the top here, let's do this right here, yeah. They wrap everything up real nice with these. Wow. Wow, this is already, this is just much nicer, even though it's got this seam. Wow, I'm already in love with this. Me likes this ball already, mates. I could just compare to this. Like, you could feel, even though you can't hold this in your hand and feel the weight, I could tell this is gonna be like half the weight. And it's just, this feels nice. This feels like, again, like ivory. And yeah, it's the same color, so that's beautiful. I was afraid it might be like too white or a different contrast, but yeah. Beautiful, mates, beautiful. Now, I do normally prefer the American style joystick as opposed to the ball, but I've been getting fond of it since dealing with the Pandoras Box. Alright, slimy. So this is all the contents of the box. Yeah, it looks pretty much the same as what we got in there, but different. Oh yeah, yeah. It feels like there's more resistance in this stick in a good way. Now, hopefully, we don't need this whatsoever. Hopefully, I'm hoping that that harness just pops right off and this pops right in. And I'm hoping it's all lined up the same. The top is the top and the bottom's the bottom. Yeah, see, this is nice. I like that compared to the this one. Right. So yeah, this is the real deal, mice. This is the units that they would have in the Japanese arcades. Yeah. Yeah, that feels nice, mates. Alright. Oh, shit, son. Wow, what a difference. What a fucking difference. Alright, good. So now, I'm going to go ahead and remove this joystick and put this one in. Oh, shit, mates. Blimey, bloody hell. So as you can see, these are nearly identical. This is the stock one in there. This is the Sanwa. And it should be super simple. There's really nothing to take apart and put. It's, you know what I'm saying? You just unscrew the ball, pop this up, and that should be it. I mean, it should all line up the same. I'm just gonna pull out this harness, right? Plug it in there. It should also be a 5-pin. I mean, it's almost identical, but you can feel the difference already. Right, so let's go ahead and remove these here screws and see what the hell we got, mates. Right, so if you're gonna do this, you might as well get the right tools for the job, yeah? Now I got 9x32. Whatever, blokes. You find one that fits, yeah. And as you can see, it goes over this here. If you got a ratchet, that's the way to go. I need to use both hands here, mates. Now, I don't see any hardware in the box with the joystick, so we're going to be using these, so make sure you don't fuck them up. Alright, they come right out. Just get them loose. Yeah, this ratchet works nice. And I guess these screws are basically embedded in there. Overall, very simple, quick installation, seems. Your bolts, put them on the side here. Try not to drop them on the floor and lose them forever. What you want to do is grab yourself a flathead and you put it on the bottom of here on the stick, yeah? And then you grab the ball up here while you're holding that. See? And you can twist it off. Nice. Rubbish. Look at that. What's all this gunk? Not gonna complain too much. These generic sticks aren't so bad. Another thing to note is that these sticks are 8-way and 4-way adjustable. I haven't done that, so I don't. These come shipped 8-way, so I'm leaving it that like that. That's the way I want it. But there is a way to set it back to, there is a way to set it between 4-way and 8-way. So there you go. Now, you remove this harness here. Simple enough. I already loosened it, so just pull it out. Alright. Yeah, and see this, just pull that right down. Put that on top. And as we could see, what we had in here is, I don't know what, because I can't read Chinese, blokes. Can this camera not focus? Yeah, I don't know what brand this is or what, but there it is next to the Sanwa. So on the left here, you got your generic stock one that comes in the Pandora's box, and here's the Sanwa on the right. You can see they're the exact same mold. The parts don't seem that different quality-wise, but we'll see. They should be much better. Yeah, you could tell just doing that. But the dimensions and weight and everything are basically the same. The new one goes in the way the old one came out, blokes. Just pop it in like this. Now I can feel there's a little room for play here. It's a lot like putting on a skateboard truck, I gotta say. Yeah, you know, it doesn't really matter where you put it. You're not gonna have an issue. See, that's the amount of play there is. But you can see it doesn't interfere. So just gonna get these bolts back on here. Put these 4 bolts back on. This should plug right back into here. We should be good to go, mates, with brand new Sanwa parts, yeah? Nice. There we go, I'll just get it about center. You never want to over tighten any of these nuts and bolts on anything, because what you do is you strip them, and then they're useless, mates. But just for fun, I'll get it about as centered as possible with the actual circle there. Yeah, that's good. Right, blokes, my battery just died, so hopefully that was recorded. Probably wasting my time as usual. Yeah. Alright, when that's on, drop that on there. That's much nicer than the originals, I must say. Let me just obviously go ahead and screw this here on. Yeah. And then you're going to want to tighten that by holding that with one hand, and again get it with the screwdriver here. And again, you don't want to over tighten it. You want it to be snug, mates. Just quickly grab the ratchet again, yeah. And just give a slight tightening. Daddy? Is that you, Daddy? Father? Blimey, hell. There we go, Mike. That should do it. Right? I'm just gonna... Fingers crossed that this all fits. Yeah, goes. That's good. Oh. And that's it. You don't want to force anything, yeah? Father? I will say it's odd, there's a little tiny jiggle here that has nothing to do with my connections here that the generics don't have. Oh yeah, you know what? There's a nice, when you let go, the way it releases, yeah, it's got a nice feel to it. So that's the final adjustment here. That's in, that's in. So that's it, blokes. We just installed brand new Sanwa buttons, brand new Sanwa joystick, yeah? Now these are the authentic parts used in most Japanese arcade games. Now we're gonna cross our fingers, get it plugged in at some point, yeah? And see if it all actually works. Hopefully we didn't actually just destroy everything, yeah? But it should all be fine. We got... And now, blokes, you got a professional arcade setup here. Listen to this, mate. Look, this bloke, he's in love with the dog. Oh, she's not here. There she is. Yeah, I gotta get right in your fucking face in order to see anything. So what the fuck? There's me father. This fucking... Here. What? Thanks for letting me use your ratchet, Daddy. Daddy?
Very nice. Oh, you use my ratchet? Okay.
Yeah, you know what?
What?
And I'm making a video too, so I might as well use the right tools.
Yeah,
this
right.
piece goes back in, you know where that... Alright.
I know.
Right, blokes. So we installed the Sanwa joystick and buttons, yeah. Now, just an interesting side note, I noticed this is the generic stick we pulled out. Pause. I noticed it says Sanwa up there, so I don't know if it's a bootleg, because the print isn't exactly the same, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if just, I don't know, I mean, are the guts Sanwa? No, I don't think so. I mean, you can feel the difference. There's no question. But I just thought that was interesting. These aren't terrible knockoffs for half, you know, I think they're about half the price. These would be 10 to 15 bucks, I would say. Whereas these are 25 to 35, depending on where you get them. And we're going to do an I/O test, see if these buttons work. But first, we're going to plug the Pandoras Box 5 into the PS3. So to do that, all you need to plug in is the USB into your PS3, and the other side of the USB goes into the Pandora's box, and that's it. You don't put in the power cord or anything else, and that's gonna light up the buttons and both sides. Well, I'll show you right now. Here we go. Plug this in. Now let's see if, okay, so far so good. Up works, down works, left, right works. See, I'm going to actually turn it on though and go to the I/O test screen. Yeah, so far seems to be functioning. Yeah, looks good so far. Let me just remove this. See, I could see with the Sanwa buttons, you can get off some really quick clicks, right? It's going to register all them, as opposed to these. Yeah, huge difference. Like just on an aesthetic level, like, see, these are from the other stick, the Capcom stick. Like, if you don't know your stuff with this, these would seem like the best, even though they're actually the worst. They have the smallest surface area in comparison, and there's a lot of resistance on them, but it's got that nice satisfying click, right? But that's not what you want for function. So I'm pretty satisfied with that, but nevertheless, I'm gonna go ahead and fire up the Pandora's box, which is super simple. Just plug it in, HDMI. I still have to, and that's it, power it on. Now I still have to see if it's gonna work with the game cap. I see a lot of people filming the Pandora's box with their cameras, and I've heard, you know, there's issues capturing, but listen, I got the PS3 to work, no problem, without any composite cables, HDMI, boom. So listen, the same method will probably work if it doesn't work with a direct connection. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn this on, to get the I/O test going. Down, up, left, right. Stick is functional. I'm going to go ahead into settings. And now it works. Works like a charm. See? So that's good. I mean, it's hard to, unless you're actually touching it, it's hard to tell the difference. But yeah, it feels much nicer already. And you can get off these button clicks way quicker, yeah. So, now if you get your ass kicked in Street Fighter, King of Fighters, can't blame anybody because you got the Sanwa sticks, yeah? So there we go, blokes. Pandora's Box 5, yeah? Yeah, so what I noticed about these two is if you pretty much breathe on them, they get triggered. Look, just barely. So if you got your fingers on them, you could actually easily trigger them. But see, that you want that sensitivity. That's insane, though. I wasn't expecting that, blokes. But very nice, yeah. All right. So that's it for the Sanwa installation in the Pandora's Box 5.